was the fake Diesel. And
I'm sure anything with Roman Reigns is the worst.
calm down. Stand still here.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio. We are live on Spreaker.com. Triple Threat is all in. Sort of. Kind of. Possibly. I'm Stan Grubb and my tag team partners, Brian Taylor.
What's going on? And I am all in.
He is indeed. Rob Hefner.
Holla, holla, holla.
And more brutal than a supercard last man standing has been this week in wrestling. Guys, wow, Monday Night Raw was the absolute pits. What did you think?
I've come to firm believe that Vince McMahon must own the USA Network.
At this point, I'm starting to wonder because, dude, that was
horrible.
Yeah. Brian, were you even awake for most of Raw because it was putting most of us to sleep?
I want to say I did not. I don't even remember the last part of Raw I saw.
Man, so. I mean, and this is the night after Backlash that they come out from, and usually pay-per-view Mondays are decent. They're not always great, but they're usually decent. This one was
I can't honestly say that I finished Backlash either. So
No, Backlash was actually pretty bad. Of course, you know, maybe Brian, you were just there to beat the traffic.
Yeah, I mean, Jericho and Rollins I thought was great, but it just took a nosedive from there. So, nosedive.
I mean, and I'm probably alone here. I'll go ahead and take a beating here for it. I actually thought, outside of the aftermath, I thought the matchup between Cass and Daniel Bryan was all right.
You want to turn in your wrestling fan card now, or
are you gonna come collect it? Do you knock on my door for the repo? Stan, we're here to take your fandom. Sorry.
I just don't get it.
Well,
you know, I mean,
he made him tap, so that's cool. But like you knew the aftermath was going to happen. You knew Cass was going to somehow get his revenge, which was just awful.
But I mean, why not? It's Backlash. Why not have Cash go over Daniel Bryan, and then you have the payoff down the road instead of you basically killed the gimmick. I mean, what's left now?
Well, yeah, but let's not forget that Big Cass beat up the little fella. The Monday before?
Yeah.
And apparently, the office was very hot over that. Like, the boot was supposed to be okay, but what happened after? He didn't have clearance, and that may have cost him at Backlash.
Wow. That's sad. I mean, you give him credit for putting effort out there, try to turn chicken S into chicken salad, or however it's called. But yeah, that was kind of a... You know it's bad during your events, by the way, when a guy that's not even in the building gets more chance than you. I mean, it was Rusev Day all night long, except for during Rollins and Miz.
No, you know it's bad is when people are leaving.
Yeah.
Like, when people are like, oh, look, it's Rollins. I'm out of here.
You mean,
that has to be horrible.
Yeah, the Roman Reigns experiment is dead. I'm turning in my Shield Gauntlet, my Roman Reigns Superman Punch Gauntlet. I'm turning it in because God, it was lazy.
I mean, they couldn't even had The Rock go down there and do a drunken promo to save their jackasses. I mean, it was just. It's the first time in a long time watching a pay-per-view that I was literally like, "Damn, I'm glad it's free."
Right?
You know, because like, I would be mad if I'd have paid $60 for that.
Well, but it's not like we didn't pay $60 for a lot of lackluster events back in the.
Well, towards the end of WCW, those pay-per-views were brutal.
What?
I mean,
what was the one with Dustin Rhodes and who was it? The Black Top Bully and the moving.
The King of the Road match.
Yeah,
uncensored.
Uncensored. There it is.
I have it on tape somewhere.
We're gonna drive around in a truck and fight.
I mean, it seemed like to me like the WWE did everything with the whole Greatest Royal Rumble, and it was like that came up, and then they realized last minute, like, oh shit, we still have a pay-per-view that we've announced it, we've got to go through with it, but we blew all we had over here in Saudi Arabia, so now we have nothing left. Even though only one of the matches over there had a finish. The rest of them were all like, oop, count out. But
yeah.
Are you telling me, like, really? Like, AJ Styles and Nakamura have been kicking each other in the nuts for a month, you know? And that's what's going to end the match? Neither one of them can answer the double nut shot, you know?
Oh, that was bad. And the worst part was they got rearing back, like both of them were gonna like do this huge thing, and it actually had kind of a, oh my god, what are they gonna do, like a Rocky finish if they're just gonna punch each other? No, they just kicked each other in the nuts. Like, boo! I'm going back to bed.
I mean, it's like, okay.
I don't know if it's one of those situations where they just, spaghetti, throw it on the wall and see what sticks, hope for the best kind of thing, and they just give up after a while. They just say, we've got your $10, we're good. See you next month. It's a shame. Damn shame.
No, I mean, what's going to happen, what this is going to do is going to lead to the WWE being caught asleep at the wheel, and before they realize it, other people are going to take over. I mean, before they realize it, NXT is going to surpass them, and they're going to be the victim of their own success.
Well, that's just it. I mean, that's the rub, because NXT will eventually fizzle out, because if they just continue to do what they've always done, either Triple H is going to get frustrated and quit, or you're going to stick to seeing only one show on the WWE network, and then everything else will fall apart, and they won't be able to sustain NXT.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing right now that they could do is, I don't know. I keep reading that there's going to be, they're ending the brand split. They're ending the brand split. They're going to put everybody on the same show and everything. And they, in essence, with doing the pay-per-views together, people are saying that that's the end of it. But it's really not. I don't think that ending the brand split would do anything but hurt the company at this point.
I agree. I mean, the brand split gives you at least separation, and it gives you a chance to showcase other talent. It gives the talent that would be shunned away on the combined roster. The problem is they're not doing it. They're focusing on the same 2 or 3 people, and it's like all night. Here we go. Let's rehash the last 4 weeks. Meanwhile, 2 guys are in the ring. You know what I mean? And it's just change the way you do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some kind of eventual shakeup that happens backstage to shake something loose, because otherwise you're going to get caught with your pants down against a lot of different companies. Okay. I mean, you look at what All In with this pay-per-view that's going on September 1st. They held their press conference today with the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. NWA World Championship is going to be on the line. It's going to be defended against Cody. So it's going to be Magnus, or Nick Aldis, defending against Cody. Billy Corgan was there in attendance for this press conference. Rey Mysterio is now going to be at the event. And this news was kind of crazy, except I'm wondering what it leads to. Making an appearance for Pro Wrestling Tees doing an autograph signing on August 31st in conjunction with this event is CM Punk. It is, in fact, in Chicago, so interesting to say the least. Flip Gordon is still working to... It is Flip Gordon, right? Yeah, Flip Gordon. He is still working to get booked on the show, apparently. But there's a picture I saw of Marty Scurll holding the Ring of Honor title. I was asking you guys earlier, did Marty beat Dalton Castle?
I don't know. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. So September 1st is when All In happens in Chicago.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Stan. Forgot to tell you. I'm all in.
You're all in.
I'm all in.
So Brian's all in. You're all in.
And I'm back.
Oh, welcome back, sir.
Yeah, sometimes you got to leave the control center for family issues.
Hey, lay the smackdown, sir. Lay the smackdown.
Oh, no, she thought she was stung by a bee.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Yeah, so.
Don't do that. All right, well, I go to Ring of Honor, ROHWrestling.com, and no, it appears Dalton Castle is still the champ. I wonder if that's just an old picture of Marty holding the TV title. Maybe. Maybe, possibly.
I'm sure that would have made some type of Twitter or Facebook or something. So,
you'd have thought so.
Yeah. I'm saying Stan read fake news.
Oh, wow.
Stan, fake news again.
Fake news by Stan.
Got suckered in with the fake news.
Fake news.
So,
Stan got fake news again. Sorry.
What do you guys think? Does CM Punk do a run-in on the match itself during All In?
To me, it doesn't really serve a point unless he's going to come back. If he's come back, I say yes. One and done, run in doesn't do me anything.
Stan's just hoping for the run-in. Stan's just hoping. I mean, that's why, when I saw that he was doing autographs, I was like, oh, I wonder if Stan's already looked at prices for tickets to get there.
No.
How long will it take to drive?
I'll be perfectly honest. If I had paid enough attention as to when ticket sales went on today, I might have decided to go to Chicago as opposed to New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, that. You know what? The history being made for the first ever event to draw 10,000 on the indie level. You don't get many opportunities to see something like that. WrestleMania, it's up and down the East Coast pretty much all the time. Does that sound weird to say? But yeah, that's a tough call.
Did they stop at 10,000, or did they squeeze another 1,000 in there?
Well, that seems to be a point of controversy. So, as soon as tickets went on sale, StubHub, of course, buys them up.
Mm-hmm.
StubHub pops them up, and now you've got so you've got this concern with fans that the reason they can't get a hold of tickets that were supposed to be priced at a very low price point, according to the to the Young Bucks, now they can't because StubHub has bought them up. And I saw ringside seats, by the way, going for $1,000 a piece.
Well, I saw 2 nosebleeds going for $67, and $67 for 2.
Yeah. I mean, and that's not bad, but at the same time, if it's nosebleeds, I don't know, man. eh. I'm kind of, I can see why people would be upset that they weren't able to get their tickets because of scalpers like that. But at the same time, I mean, with an event the level of All In, to be honest with you, it's actually not a surprise at all that they would buy up the seats that quickly.
Well, that's what StubHub does. That's what that's what those places do.
Yeah.
They do it to every event. They have places and they snipe up all the tickets and then they raise some prices, and because people are going to buy them. If they want to go, they'll buy them. They do the same thing for WrestleMania and the Super Bowl and everything.
Yeah, to me though, this would truly be a gamble if you jack the prices up too much. Because I'm sure you'd get enough that would say, "Screw it, I'll go anyway." But there may be a section of fans that are like, "That's too much for an indie show."
Well, I mean, and let's take a look. So I'm on StubHub.com right now for All In. Sears Center, Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Section A, Row 1, $1,995. That's one ticket that's available. The next level under that, Ringside A, Row 2, $1,350 for two tickets. No, two tickets at $1,350 apiece.
Holy Christ.
Yeah. And here's one. Let's see here. Section C, Row 2. There's about 8 tickets available for $1,250. Dude. And then let's go down to, lowest price. Section 213. $120.
Parking lot outside.
$120 for one ticket.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Considering that, I can go to ROH for a better price. I can go to NXT for a better price.
Mm-hmm.
And, don't get me wrong, I think this is great what they're doing, but in the long run, who knows how this is going to turn out.
I think it's a good possibility that this is actually a stumbling block for them as far as what happens when people finally get to the arena. I'm sure that StarCast, their event that they're doing beforehand, will be a big deal, and I'm sure that they'll still have a decent showing as far as fans, but that's an awful lot of tickets that are going on for a pretty heavy price point, especially when the key of your press conference, and you're the Young Bucks, you're saying, oh, well, nosebleed seats are going to be $28 for this, that, and the other. It's like, dang, you can't, you can't really base success off of that, but, I mean, I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping that they do very well, because this is the kind of event that can change up a whole lot of things in a very short amount of time. I mean, we know, outside of, for a fact, speaking to them, which we never have, but we know that certain people are going to be paying close attention to this.
Brian's spoken to him.
We've just tweeted a couple times.
He corresponds with their mom all the time.
Hey, wait a minute.
She has tweeted me back, but that's cool. She was thanking me for buying their merch, and that's cool.
Well, hey, I'm happy to.
He only has it.
Y'all never got a tweet from her mom, but
he only has it framed on his wall, but it's no big deal.
Hey, I mean, there are worse things to have. I mean, you could get tweets from. Well, no, never mind. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be nice. Leave it alone, Stan. Leave it alone. Moving on.
Because you can't think of anything.
No, that's not it, Rob. That's not it. Somebody's got to be the nice guy, Rob.
Preach on, Stan.
Yeah, gotta be the nice guy. You gotta do stuff. Hey, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there listening. Hope you guys had you ladies had a great day. Yeah. Yep. Hope you guys did something special for your ladies for Mother's Day as well, because they matter. They raise us just as much as they raise the kids because they let us watch wrestling and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah. So yeah. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. Come on, gotta be nice. Be nice.
Yeah.
I know it's not
Yeah.
easy to be nice. So what's me? Who? What? Huh?
You getting all sassy?
I'm sorry, man. I got a soft spot. I know it's not a good thing. I apologize, Lord. I apologize.
So some of you may know, some of you don't. We like to collect the old Top Slam and stuff like that. And God, wouldn't you know it? There was a nice new, pretty Roman Reigns card come out today, and they had to package it with a John Cena card.
Oh no!
Just to try and get people to buy it. And currently, let me see if I can find this card. So currently, it looks like only 124 people got this, tried to get this card. Out of it's a 750 card, and only 124 currently possess it. So,
Wow.
That experiment's definitely over, I think.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, that's kind of a good barometer too, because that's really your more when you look at the the amount of people that play on Top Slam, that collect on them. If you can't get what's supposed to be your, and this is by their explanation, your top merch seller to sell for his collectors, that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a shame, though, that you still tout him as a top merch collector. And, I mean, we got documented proof, in this card that he's not selling for nothing, Because if he had that many fans, I think it would have sold out. And it hasn't. It'll probably be repackaged next weekend. And here's another shot at Roman Reigns because y'all love him so much.
I would like to know, since they say he's the top merch guy, right?
Right.
One of the top. I would like to see exactly when those stats are taken. Like, are they taken after the BOGO sales, where somebody buys a John Cena shirt and gets get their Roman Reigns shirt for free, or like hey, the $10 T-shirts, like. That's when I think some fans would be like, you know what? Okay, I'll take a Roman Reigns, But it's just one day they're going to have to realize you can't shove them down their throats anymore. And I think the main event at Backlash was prime example of that.
Well, you would hope that it was, because what have we said this entire time? I mean, the one true surefire way that you can make all of them pay attention is by basically voting with your wallet. And they really did that. They left during the main event. Like, the match started, and it didn't even start. You had a fast open with it where Samoa Joe throws Roman Reigns through the table, and you're like, oh my God. And I thought, that's how you should end it. Like, that's it. He just destroyed Roman, and your show is over. Because it was already 11 o'clock at this point. But instead, they decided to go the distance with it. And, I mean, you just had people chanting, beat the traffic. You had people walking out. It was abysmal. I mean, at least at Halloween Havoc, where Goldberg and DDP went, for 20 minutes, at least they had a good matchup and fans were staying. They were in attendance and staying. In this situation, not so much.
Not at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a bad deal. How do you? Okay, you're the guy. You've got to go and you've got to explain this to Vince, because apparently Vince was shocked that people were walking out during this main event. How do you explain to Vince that, hey, it's just not working anymore? It's like a bad breakup.
Well, I mean, I think the match would have gone over better if there was a reason for it.
True.
For just a couple weeks before, Samoa Joe comes out going, "Hey, once you beat Brock Lesnar and get the Universal title, I'm going to kick your ass at Backlash. Well, then he
Right.
didn't win the title, and so then there's no payoff. So here we are again, and it's like, what? You know? And it was your typical Roman Reigns match where Roman Reigns gets his butt kicked for 20 minutes, or not even that, like pillar to post, and then all of a sudden he magically does what? You know? It's like, come on. Change the script. You know, we're done. Time to go film something. Film a live-action movie or something. I don't know.
I don't know that I would pay to see a Roman Reigns movie.
Maybe he can have an accident with his breast implant.
Oh, see. Wow. Rob really just took it there. Jeez, man. Damn.
Well, I mean...
That's very insensitive, sir. We're trying to be a kindler, gentler corner to corner. I can't say it with a straight face. I'm sorry. I tried. I really did. So, Rob, hit us with your Impact report. What's new at ImpactWrestling.com?
What? Impact report.
Wow.
That's
Rob just sits there. Well, actually, I did read. The hits just keep on coming for Impact. Eli Drake, next up on WWE's radar. His contract, by the way, ends at the end of this month.
Say it ain't so. Drake. I hope they let him do the stupid.
That would be great.
Dummy.
Yeah, dummy.
That's the best thing about that dude. It's a stupid, that stupid little, yeah.
You know what? I approve. I want to see him do that to Roman. Yeah, dummy.
See, it's like a whole different thing, Brian. Like, wasn't it just a couple weeks ago? Stan's like, I love Roman Reigns. I think he hasn't been given the credit he's due.
I was. You're right.
You all need to see him for the person he is. He's got a heart.
I don't think I ever went that direction. Let's not go overboard.
Oh, yeah.
But I definitely was devoured.
How many Roman Reigns shirts do you own?
2.
How many Roman Reigns shirts do you own, Brian?
I don't know. Maybe the Slam Crate has one. I don't remember.
That's an obligatory one because you didn't ask for it. They just gave it to you.
They just sent it to you. Does that count as merch sales? That's how he did it.
Yeah. He's going to slip this in there and say he's the #1 seller this month.
How do you know? Well, we did ship over 20,000 Roman Reigns shirts just this week.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It's amazing.
Hey, I can officially say that
must be working.
I can say that I have my first official ever in the history of wrestling fandom for me, Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt.
Me
Actually,
too.
A pretty cool shirt from the Slam Crate.
What?
God. I hate you guys.
I can do it all night.
What?
And, yep, we actually went to negative numbers. People are now wanting to have us pay them to not listen. Thanks, guys.
What?
Oh,
sorry, two more. Sorry. One what too far.
Well, and that's going to do it for this week's Corner to Corner. Y'all have a great night.
So should we touch on an event from Saturday in, say, New Jersey?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to make sure we got everything else out of the way and made sure that we provided the proper amount of time to this discussion, because I know we'll probably talk about it for a bit. This weekend, UPWA held their show in Parsippany, New Jersey. What the hell does even Parsippany mean? Anyway, so they had an event in Parsippany, and they had already once made their way to Ultimate Championship Wrestling's offices, and had vandalized the building, spray painted, and left. Didn't they leave a T-shirt in Mr. DeVore's office or some kind of craziness? How they even get in there, I don't even know. But
they're thieves.
Thieves and vagabonds, just a bunch of dirty New Jerseyans.
Rapscallions.
Rapscallions. That is that is their new word.
Yeah, I don't think you can call them dirty New Jerseyans.
Why not? That's not a thing.
I mean, you're only insulting an entire state, but that's okay.
Yeah, have some decorum.
I'm sorry, rapscallions. I apologize. Bunch of low life hillbilly. Anyway.
Whoa.
So here's the thing.
Can you really say hillbilly and the state of New Jersey in the same sentence?
Can you say sewer rat?
Okay. It's getting worse. We'll stop there.
So let it be known that we, of course, we feel a certain way about how they just basically try to disrupt everything and ultimately, pardon the pun, make a scene for themselves, as clearly from the show's attendance, they clearly have a lot of fans that are excited about their event. But hey, never let it be said that we didn't warn you, because how many times did Mr. DeVore put it out there? If you keep poking the bear, if you keep on tempting fate, you're not gonna like at all what happens to you. And that's what happened. Ultimate Championship Wrestling made their presence felt last night in Parsippany. Mad Max Morrison, Jimmy Flame. How about that, Brian? Two teams that hate each other, and we've saw it. We've seen them break down into just horrible brawls only a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, sometimes enemies make great bedfellows. So let's not forget Juggernaut.
The returning former UCW champion Juggernaut, making their presence felt alongside the boss, Mr. DeVore, who, hey, rolling up his sleeves and putting the boots on to make sure that the work got done and the job got done correctly, which is exactly what happened. Here's a match that their audience could have given two craps about, basically sitting there just glad to be in from the cold and from the heat and the smell of New Jersey. I don't blame them. I'd want to be inside too. I mean, I'm proud to say that Ultimate Championship Wrestling left a mark, if you know what I'm saying.
On their heads.
And their back, and their arms, and their legs.
Heel stuff to us, and you just focus on, saying that UPWA, is that right? UPW.
Yeah, you got the first words right. UP.
UPWA got what they asked for.
Exactly. They really did. I mean, they're the ones that kept poking fun and doing the little jokes and thinking they're funny. How funny is it now? That's all I'm saying. How funny is it now? Who's laughing now?
And the whole event can be watched on UCWForever.com. And
that's correct. We will most likely we'll throw it in rotation over on Twitch, just so we can make sure we show the world just what happens when you cross the line and try to, in our case, I suppose, cross the boss, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
That's
numbers,
one
by
thing
the way.
about working.
Go ahead, Rob.
He's a working boss.
He is. He would never ask you to do something that he wouldn't do himself.
He protects his investments.
All right, you two little brown nosers.
What? We're just showing respect to the guy in charge.
Well, you notice who wasn't there? Who didn't defend the company?
You.
And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What?
There.
Well, I would never
No
dare
Larry.
be seen in New
No,
Jersey.
no Dan.
I don't have a passport.
I mean, it is a third world country.
Oh,
Okay. Now you're just offending people.
stop.
What? I'm just saying.
See, we tiptoe to the line, and then Stan's like, "Bam! You want to see it?"
That's because Stan thinks he can be a big tough guy right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, they probably don't even they don't even speak English up there. So what are we worried about?
Oh, at most you can hope that they, try and come down here and cause more problems. And I hope the Lariat is the one that opens the door.
That would be my luck. That would be my luck. Hey, Stan, do me a favor. Go grab something from outside. Yeah, no problem, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, my God. Boom. There's Stan dead.
I'm thinking Rey Mysterio lawn dart into the trailer.
Hey, good luck to him. Good luck to them if they can get me over their heads.
Well, there's enough of them.
That's true. That's true. A bunch of sewer rats all hanging together.
Okay.
Rob, you want to throw the disclaimer out? Because, I really have a desire.
The thoughts of Stan Grubb are not necessarily the thoughts or concerns of Brian Taylor, Rob Hefner, or Corner to Corner, or any other entity that you may hear this radio show on. Those thoughts are his and his alone.
Jeez.
So all complaints, gripes, and bitches can be sent to Stan from Krypton on Twitter.
Lawn dart incidents, they all go to him.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but it's gonna be my luck that would get me put into that situation. But none of you.
Stan Grubb at Tampax.com.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Did you just say Tampax.com? You're just the worst. I mean, I'm the one sticking up for UCW while, of course, wait a minute. I'm looking at this from the wrong perspective. Brian, maybe I should just ask you, sir. How much are they paying you? How much is the doctor's soul worth to stand up for UPWA?
Not that much. I'm
He says not that much.
Not that.
Under several non-disclosure agreements, but that is not one of them.
So you're saying that you can be bought? Oh, well, who am I kidding, Rob? We knew that.
Hey, listen. Y'all forget that UCW, I've been there before. No matter what I may say about the boss and anybody else, I still am UCW.
Well, I think that is
until
important.
the check clears for somebody else.
So there is a possibility, if I'm hearing this correctly, that the doctor could make his way north.
No, that apparently you don't listen, and that's why you don't get paid.
Wow.
I never once said I would. I mean, I would go watch for, to support Team UCW. Woo! Well,
that was about as half-assed as I've ever heard. I bet if Humphrey J or KR Superstar was there, you'd be like, all right, I'm there. I'm all in.
I'm there with pom-poms, baby. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anybody here needs to see you with pom-poms. That just sounds scary.
If the other guys, are there, then I'm there too.
You're giving the good fight. I got you.
Yes. I'm all in.
That's a different show. Just thought I'd put that
there. Apparently we can't afford it, so...
Well, yeah. Us and the rest of America.
All right, dummies. Let's get on track.
Yeah, dummy.
Where's the Impact report at? The fans want to know.
Wrestling fans around the country, outside of Jersey, want to know.
Are waiting with bated breath for the Impact report.
Come on, Rob. What happened on Impact? Well, before you get to your Impact report, I know you're just ready to say it, and I wanted to stop you. Hey, Lucha Underground Season 4 coming up.
Hell yeah.
What do you think about Season 4, Rob? What are you looking forward to with Lucha's 4th season?
Well, I mean, I think they stepped it up huge. They stepped it up huge with the 3rd season. I mean, the match quality was awesome. The storylines, and they weren't afraid to move the whole. They're not afraid to move the titles back and forth.
Right.
And I like the whole Gifts of the Gods tournament where all the discs and then whoever has to win the matches to put them all on the belt. That's cool.
Cool.
That's better than a
Gauntlet.
Money in the Bank match.
The Infinity Gauntlet of pro wrestling. The Gift of the Gods.
It is a pretty cool looking belt. I mean,
they were going to call it the Rob Hefner belt, but I wouldn't let them have the naming rights, so they said it's the Gift of the Gods. So.
Yeah, and so that's when they were going to shut the whole place down.
This just in, Lucha Underground is no more.
Because they tried to name it the Rob Hefner belt, and everybody was like, who's that guy?
Yeah.
Let's just name it Gift of the Gods. It's the same thing.
Okay. let's dress it up a little bit. I mean, we all know Rob's great, but is that what you're saying, Rob?
Wait,
I am so great.
What, Brian?
Who's this Rob guy you're talking about?
I don't know. Wait, who we talk? I'm confused. Are we Stan, Rob, and Brian here, or are we no longer Stan, Rob, and Brian here?
I don't know. I think the Infinity Gauntlet might have worked on Rob, and he's...
Brian, I don't feel so good.
There you go. There's your Avengers spoiler. Rob had to finish the movie.
I mean, at this rate, is it a spoiler? Shouldn't they have already seen it by now?
I mean, you would hope, but there could be a few people there.
Watch Rogue One, same ending.
Jeez. Crippling Depression, the Star Wars episode. Crippling Depression 2, the Marvel edition.
Yep.
That was probably the darkest ending I've ever seen in a Marvel movie.
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't have counselors waiting outside, Like,
Twitter and Facebook, people like, I just saw Avengers and I'm not okay. I mean, oh my God. Relax. Wow. Brian, did it affect you that way? I mean, you're about the most devout comic fan that I know of.
No. Because in the long run, it's a comic book movie.
Right.
And
right.
Nobody ever dies in the comic book. So stop your whining. Put your big boy pants on. And for what it was.
Although I will say this, the latest craze is spoiling the Avengers to my oldest daughter who hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, wow.
And here's the thing. It's my 10-year-old that spoils it for her.
That's funny.
Apparently one of her friends saw it and spoiled it to her, so she just throws one at her every now and again.
Well, since it's ruined for me, I'll ruin it for you.
Tell me Spider-Man died.
No.
True spoiler right there. True spoiler.
There he stood. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Spider-Man is really Tony Stark's illegitimate son.
Well, the fan fiction writers, which is just creepy to even say out loud, consider him to be the love child of Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. I'm not sure how that even works, by the way, but apparently. Yep, we took a creepy turn. You're right. I'm sorry.
How to kill a conversation in one easy comment.
Ouch.
People listening here.
Well, I mean, all 50 of them, they really do enjoy what we do. So, Rob, how about that Impact report?
I mean, you can't even just pull it up on your iPad and
Make something up.
yeah.
I'm not having Impact in my search history. No, thank you.
Wow. Well, you heard it here first, fans. Impact so bad, local man won't have it in his search history.
Yeah.
More news at
I don't
11.
know, so bad.
Exactly. So give us the Impact report there, Brian.
It doesn't work when it's your joke. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it doesn't work when you try and switch. I think it sucked so bad that they ran away any of the diehard fans, and they've yet to get them back. You know what I'm saying? So I can't watch it. I TiVo it, but I never watch it. I delete it.
Delete.
That's about what I'm going to start doing with Raw.
I will say that this past Monday was the first time that I've ever really, truly fallen asleep during Raw. And woken up going, hey, what happened?
Oh, minute. They're still in an interview. Never mind.
Back to bed I go.
They're still trying to push Roman Reigns.
Pretty bad.
Now, I was really happy to know that he didn't, so far, get his little seat in the Money in the Bank match. I thought it would be a lot cooler if they would have had one Money in the Bank match for each brand and then a woman's Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? Like, have one for each brand. That would have been cool. But
so, if I'm reading this correctly, and what they said on Monday was pretty well the same, we get a tag team Money in the Bank for each brand, too.
Well, they haven't announced the tag team Money in the Bank yet, have they?
Well, they were airing promos from different people talking about the tag team Money in the Bank. So that's where I was getting confused, because I'd asked you guys, you're like, no, I don't think it's going to happen. And then they started airing promos for it. I was like, what?
Must have been when I was fast-forwarding it. Sorry. Well, I thought they were going to do one Money in the Bank for each brand, but they're not. Like, Raw and SmackDown together will be one Money in the Bank match.
Oh.
Right. And then the SmackDown women and the SmackDown Raw will come together for one Money in the Bank match.
Oh. Okay. Because I thought it was going to be one for each brand and all that. So it's a Raw and SmackDown singles, Raw and SmackDown ladies, and then possibly a Raw and SmackDown tag team.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, alrighty then. Okay. That's a little bit more interesting. This is what happens when you fall asleep during Raw, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, here's a little bit of a tidbit that I did just read just a few moments ago. So, from MMA, Ronda Rousey's group, her friends, are known as the Four Horsewomen, right? Well, Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey are already there, but the other two have just been signed and are scheduled to arrive in NXT any day now. Looks like we've got our WWE Four Horsewomen versus Ronda Rousey's Four Horsewomen at Mania headed our way.
Well, I mean, it was only going to be a matter of time before they came because, I mean, come on. If Ronda's going to do it, it's good for business. So, and that's why I think Baszler did it first. Baszler was the test subject to see, hey, wait a minute. Will their style fly? Will the fans like it? And once the fans liked Baszler and got behind her, and I think that's why she got the payoff with the NXT Women's title and made, before Mania. It's only a matter of time before they came back. So, they come. So, especially if they're building the tag division, if they're going to do a women's tag title, who else,
Well, here's a question for you on that same in that same vein there. Do you think that Shayna Baszler is better than Ronda Rousey in the ring?
Are you kidding?
just had more time in the ring.
What do you think, Brian?
I think you should put the headset up and just walk away. I mean, Ronda's only been, training for how long?
That we know of, 6 to 8 months.
Okay. And Baszler's actually been performing at a very high caliber for how long?
Gosh. Just at WWE alone is over a year.
So, I mean, the only thing you really see out of Ronda is what? A throw, maybe, and an arm bar?
Mm-hmm. Arm bar, to quote Chris Jericho.
Whereas Baszler's been putting on matches.
That's a valuable point. I mean, that's the thing. When I look at Baszler and her complete body of work, we're talking about somebody that's probably the most well-rounded female performer in WWE right now. I mean, and that's not putting down any of the others as far as Asuka, Charlotte, the ones that are top tier. But just looking at it from the perspective of, I wonder how that matchup would look on paper and how it would work out on TV between Ronda and Baszler.
Oh, you'll get to see it eventually, I'm sure.
That would be a pretty good one, I think.
I would say you better have the medics on standby.
You think that they would go ahead and just throw caution to the wind and start beating the crap out of each other then?
Well, I mean, they are both MMA, you know what I mean? So it's like, they probably let's go. And they train together, so.
So, we did find out that the Intercontinental Championship has now an open challenge to it every week, as Seth Rollins opened up his open challenge he took on. It was, now I feel like a dope because I had it pulled up and it fell. He defended it on Monday night.
Rub it up.
And then this week he's defending against Kevin Owens, which honestly that could be a really good defense. That could be a very good matchup.
I agree. Especially if Rollins is, wrestling like he has been.
I think he may actually be better now than he was before his knee injury.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting on some good stuff. So, and then Kevin has the potential to put on some quality matches too. So, hopefully they'll just let him go out there and do what they do.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where because the Universal title is basically nowhere to be found, it's, there's your opportunity, there's your main event, it's your Intercontinental title, which is fine, except for the fact that they shouldn't, it shouldn't just, put their main title in the sideline or in the background. Now, they are in England this week, so all of their shows will end up being spoiled before the afternoon is here. So if you're not looking to have Raw or SmackDown spoiled for you, then stay off of social media during the early afternoon.
No, that won't happen.
It won't. It probably already is happening. Let's see here. New Japan. They are looking to be a part of the All In show. Now, they have not released the card for All In. There's just a few matches that have been teased, like the title match between Cody and NWA World Champion Nick Aldis. I did hear that it sounds like Okada is going to be in attendance and will be competing on All In. If that's the case, that's going to be tremendous, regardless of who he faces.
Well, I think they put out a bunch of the All In placards today.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say there may be one or two from Lucha on the thing. Lucha. And I don't remember if anybody from New Japan's put one in yet. But it shows like over 16 people or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows quite a number of people. So you may want to double check that and see if anybody's on that.
So we know that Stephen Mel will be in attendance. We know that Kenny Omega is scheduled to compete, as well as Young Bucks, Marty Scurll. And I'm just scrolling through. Tessa Blanchard, of course, is going to be there. She'll be competing. And I'm just going back through their media information here, because actually it's a pretty exciting day for them. And we continue to talk about it. Here's what we have so far. So the winner is All In. The most recent matchup that was scheduled at May 10th, that was just a few days ago. Flip Gordon was going to be taking on MJF and Madison Rayne, and Flip was going to have a mystery partner. That's for June 8th, actually. Matt Cross, Son of Havoc, will be All In. Okada scheduled to be All In. I'm just scrolling all the way through all of their different entries. Here we go. Here's the one I was looking for. So we've got Okada. We've got Chelsea Green. That's the name of the girl. Joey Janela and Penelope Ford. Pentagon Jr. And Adam Page, of course. Who is that guy? Is that
Too Sweepy, bro?
Right? Here's what I'm going to do. I think that's Phoenix. So, yeah, Lucha Underground's got a lot of people there. It's Phoenix, Pentagon Jr., and I just don't know the guy's name. I feel bad when I don't know their names. I have to get better at that. Of course, yesterday, War of the Worlds, Night 3 for Ring of Honor. Results are Evil beats Shane Taylor, Tennille Dashwood, and Jenny Rose beat Sumi Sakai and Stella Gray. Punishment Martinez fought Adam Page to a no contest. I bet you that match was ridiculous. Marty Scurll beat Kenny King, Sanada, and Matt Taven in a four-corner survival match. Brian, how does a four-corner survival match work?
Don't catch me lying.
No, I figured maybe you would know. You're a lot better with Ring of Honor than I am, so that's why I asked.
I'm not.
All right. Rob, how does a four-corner survival match work? Rob?
I don't know.
Well, damn. Alrighty then.
They don't have those on Impact.
Roppongi 3K beat the Motor City Machine Guns and the Young Bucks in a three-way. I just caught what you said, by the way. That was funny. Silas Young and the Beer City Bruiser beat the Boys. Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky beat, Jushin Thunder Liger, Flip Gordon, and Cheeseburger. Cody defeated Hiromu Takahashi, and the Briscoes defeated Tetsuya Naito and Bushi to retain the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. I bet that tag title matchup was tremendous.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Do you think at All In they would have Cody take the title?
Oh, yeah. I think that would be huge. It'd be huge.
Considering that Billy was at the press conference?
Yep.
That would be cool. Because I wonder how many father-son pairings have won the NWA World Title.
Ooh. That's a good question.
You know?
I don't know the answer to that. Is there any, Brian?
Let's see. The Funks were related. Excuse me.
Sorry, they're brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be awesome. Because imagine, like, right now, that's what Billy Corgan would need. You know what I mean? Like, it would be it would be a genius marketing thing. Because here you go, they're trying to reboot it, huh?
I said then Cody would have to show up on Wrestling from Hollywood or whatever.
But I mean, it would just be doing what he's already doing, you know. And if they're trying to reboot the NWA, what better PR do you have than the same thing that Cody did for ROH by taking the title all over the world?
I'll tell you, I mean, Cody has done wonders for every place he's gone. I can't disagree with you, Rob. I think that's a good point.
But what do I know, right?
Hey, we're just those fan guys, man. Oh, Brian. Okay, so we went through this. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. This last man standing thing on Supercard. Brian, I don't know if you've looked at your card yet.
Hold on.
I'm about to lose my ish right now.
You know, I will say that I found something interesting. I'm watching the 365 on Kevin Owens on the network,
Mm-hmm.
and I never realized that the talent would have to go through the metal detectors and get their bags checked just like everybody else. I didn't know that. Like, they showed Kevin Owens showing up to the arena, and they have a metal detector, and the people are going through, like, he's walking away from it, but then there's Sami Zayn with his bag out, and they're going through his bag. I was like, huh. But anyway, that was just trying to kill some time before you all, for you all to calm down.
Wow. Before I go too far into this, thank you, Geneva. The Four Corner Survival match is a four-way match, meaning there are four competitors. However, it's not like the WWE where all four men start in the ring and wrestle at the same time. The difference here is that only two men start out inside the ring to wrestle, while the other two are in separate corners outside the ring, like in a tag match. The two men inside the ring start to wrestle. The other two outside can substitute any of the other two in the ring, like in a tag, in one of two ways. First being tagged in, and the second if one of the competitors inside the ring goes to the outside. Okay, so it's kind of like Lucha rules. That makes sense. Thanks, Geneva.
She's so smart.
She is.
She's our statistician.
She does a better job at it than me. I've got to get better at that. So, Brian, have you seen your card, sir?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, we've all collectively played Supercard since it came out in 2014.
Beginning.
Yeah. And we have, God only knows how much money, unfortunately, has been dumped into this game.
Well, you can speak for yourself on that one.
I mean, hey. I'm I'm thoroughly disgusted right now. So, God, I'm irritated. Top stats on a WrestleMania 34 level Braun Strowman card that I played all weekend for. This is with it fully leveled, Brian. 42,000 across the board.
I ain't doing too much better. I think mine will top out at about 46, 45.
I am thoroughly disgusted. I spent a lot of time, too much damn time, on this stupid-ass game. I feel like I need to get in touch with Cat Daddy and complain, but they don't care. I don't spend enough money for them. Son of a... Ugh.
Hey, I got, I ended up getting a monster manager card I didn't have before. And I got a monster enhancement and a Titan card. So
How...
in the packs. I didn't get that card you all got. So.
I'm actually pissed. How did you get Titan and Monster cards? Are you fucking kidding? Oh, my God.
Oh!
Oh, son of a...
Oh, you might as well go ahead and say it now. FCC won't let you be.
Are you kidding me? Oh, screw you, Cat Daddy Games and WWE Supercard. Oh, my God.
So what was your final stat?
So I finished out at 7,839 on the leaderboard. Brian, you were at what, 6,000?
I don't remember. I think it was something like that.
So let's see here. Getting to the card itself. Oh, this is disgusting. I gotta pull it up here because its stats are so low. It's not even in my lineup. So 347 for power, 42,203 on toughness, 42,902 in speed, 42,785 in charisma. This is a 75 level card. How exactly do you?
I would bet to say that when you finally have it topped out, it's going to be awesome.
It is topped out. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's all charged all the way up.
Yeah, that's all the way.
What level is it?
WrestleMania 34.
Oh,
WrestleMania 34. Wow.
Rob got a monster and a Titan card, Brian.
Yeah, I hear.
God.
All right.
But it was only a manager card though.
At least it had benefit. Jeez. Ah.
I mean, technically, all right. So at least mine is 5,000 higher than a monster. Well, that monster single's not even all the way maxed out. So it's actually lower than a Dana Brooke Beast card. A single, not a pro. A single. So,
I'm thoroughly disgusted right now.
mm-hmm.
I mean, dude.
On the last one, the Triple H one, you were how high?
Oh yeah. So the Triple H card that I got, this is by comparison. Same event, last man standing. And my ranking for that one, pull that up because it's on the card, 16,828. And all my stats for this card, 240,054 for power, 239,449 for toughness, 248,30 for speed, and 237,724 for charisma, plus the pedigree ability, which is 15,128 for power, 14,895 for charisma, and that's with the buff enhancements or whatever.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Where is their office located? That is, oh my gosh.
I mean, even if I pro this WrestleMania 34 card, if I should happen to ever get a second one, it'll be less than any of my pro'd monsters, right?
And less than your Titan.
Well, yeah, but my pro'd monsters, which is what I'm dealing with now, is proing a bunch of these monsters. So what is the point to even hold on to this fucking card right now? Oops, I can't say that.
No, it's done. It's done. It's already there. It's happening. It's done. The explicit episode has begun. It took Supercard to push us over the edge.
Did you see where the Bradford Exchange is bringing out a WWE Superstar pin set?
Really?
What do you mean by pins?
Like the lapel pins.
What do they look like, though?
They look pretty cool. They look like the ones from the catalog or the crate. There's like a Dusty Rhodes and a Ric Flair and Andre the Giant, The Rock, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man.
Are they the names, or are they like little?
It's pictures and the names. It's like they look exactly like the like the T-shirts would in like the 80s and 90s. Begins with issue 1 of Andre the Giant and Stone Cold Steve Austin with a custom display case for $29.95. $29.99. After with $4 shipping.
I want to see their mentions here. I want to see if people are like.
Oh wow, that is kind of cool.
You looking at the pins?
Yeah.
They're pretty neat. What's bad is you're going to look at them, Brian, they're all made by the same company that the one come in the Pro Wrestling Creator made from. But it says it reserves the collectible for you. You may cancel your collection at any time. Issue 1's Andre the Giant, followed by issue 2, The Rock and Ultimate Warrior. Issue 3 is Undertaker, Macho Man, and issue 4 is the display case. And then 10 additional sets to complete your as they become available.
Kind of cool. Kind of cool. Oh.
But it's all good, folks.
I feel hurt right now. I feel like somebody kicked me low.
Somebody kicked him in the Jimmy.
I mean, damn. Moving on.
Are we really?
I don't know yet. I'm still hurt. Ugh. Here's a quick thought. Getting back to All In, is Rey Mysterio a big signing for this event, or could we do without it?
For All In?
Yeah.
It's a big sign.
You think so?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want Ray?
I mean, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't want Ray on the show, but I think that with what they're bringing to the table, I don't know that it's going to sell more tickets. And if that's their goal, if that's their focal point, then...
Yeah, but we've already kind of established the tickets are sold, so...
Sold and then resold. Ugh. It's a disgusting turn of events.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I got Adam Paged all over again, damn it. Did you just give me the slow clap? Cut it out. You suck. All right, as of 2/16...
I'm not the one that dropped the F-bomb for the first time on our show.
You know, to the children listening, please remember that this is, you know, it's real life. Stuff happens, you know.
Drop it like it's on.
Don't cuss your parents. And if you do, blame it on Rob. Don't blame it on me. So, tickets did sell out immediately for this show. It actually was, I'm looking at the time, 45 minutes after they went out on sale. 30 minutes after they went on sale. It was sold.
Dang.
That's fast. That should speak volumes. Now, if in fact the tickets that got bought up by like StubHub and all, if they get sold again, will be the key. I mean, because you'll have some people that will spend that kind of money to go to that show, but, I mean, not 10,000, not that kind of money.
No, but...
We'll see. I still think it could be a good show.
I think it's going to be a great show. I mean, it's going to be that type of wrestling that everybody's been asking for.
Very true.
You know? And it could very well change the landscape of, you know, hold up. Us as a group of wrestlers could get together and have our own pay-per-view and people will watch it. We don't need to be with a company, you know?
I'd like to see the NWA back on TV.
And that's where I was going with, if you give the belt to Cody, you would be.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'll take it everywhere. You imagine the NWA World Title defended on Ring of Honor? You know? It could happen. Probably not, but
there was also rumblings, by the way, that Being the Elite may be done as far as a web show. After 100 episodes, they may actually just say, nope, no more.
Really?
Yeah. So Lars, is it Sullivan? Lars Sullivan is scheduled to take on Aleister Black for the NXT title in Chicago. That is going to be a pretty damn awesome matchup.
Yeah.
Here's one that I wish we had seen, though. Adam Cole defending the North American title against Lio Rush. I bet that matchup's awesome.
Yeah, congrats to Leo for finally making it back.
Yeah, that's a long, lonely road he had to go through as well. You know, he finally, I guess, finally got out of the doghouse.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Which is kind of sad, considering all it was over Twitter. Kind of makes you wonder.
Well, I think WWE's just trying, you know. I mean, look at Rusev.
What about him? Damn,
he was so excited about Rusev. He's like, yeah, nah.
He blew his wide and gone. Hey!
Oh, there he is. What's the matter, Rob? Did your Rusev day too hard? All of a sudden, you're like, that just kind of reminds you of Rusev, and then, boop.
Well, I mean, you know, he went on there and he did the joking post of, you know, bury me softly, brother, to the Undertaker, and the next thing you know, bam, Chris Jericho's in the casket match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still want to know how that one worked out. All right, Rusev, we're pissed, and so you're no longer in this big, high-profile match, and we're going to bring Jericho, and then he puts up one more thing about not being in the match, and yeah, okay, Rusev, you're back in the match. Woo!
I mean, would you have been more excited for Jericho versus Undertaker or Rusev versus Undertaker?
Neither, actually. However, why would you bring back Jericho for that type of one-on?
That's true.
Sense.
Especially a casket match.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you know, us wrestling fans, you know, you don't have a casket match just because, oh, hey, let's put these two in a casket match, you know?
Right,
There's got to be
There's usually a reason
for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's kind of like the WWE gave the King, you know, whoever bought the show, gave them, all right, here's what we'll give you. You know, like, here's our menu. You pick from it. And he's I want a casket match. I want a Royal Rumble. I
read a report that said that the royal family was given, basically like you just described, like, this is who we have. And they requested guys like, are you ready? Randy Savage, The Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan. So
could have been a possibility, because apparently his exile might be ending soon.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, can you imagine being the liaison between the two companies or the two groups? So some of this we can do. we can put the Undertaker there.
Out of the 15 wrestlers you asked for, only one is either working for us or alive. You know, like.
And what do you guys think if they continue to do events this way? I mean, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Oh, not necessarily for them, because I think the influx of cash is good for them. But is this good for the industry?
Shows bought and paid for all the time. Why is it any different if the WWE does it than a smaller fed?
That's a good point.
And they always have sponsors. It's just not very often that you see it like, all right, you know. I'm buying a show, and I want it in my backyard, and I'm gonna,
And we'll broadcast it over the network.
Hey, because if I was a trillionaire or a billionaire, I'd do a show too. I'd be like, all right, I want one hell of a pay-per-view, and I want it on the network, and oh yeah, Gold Dust will win the world title. Totally upside up. Turn over the apple cart. Like
This upheaval.
Fandango will be your U.S. champ. And we'll have a tag team of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. They'll be your tag team champs.
So I think somebody's got a man crush on Reigns because Rob has been throwing that name around quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, I turned in my my Superman punch gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have it anymore. Rob, did you take it? In my defense, I didn't see.
No,
I didn't see who actually collected it when I turned it in.
I was just saying if you have control of the card, what you could do to upside, like imagine all the long programs that would be affected by, all right, no, I want this person to win. I want that person to win. Let's put these two people together.
We have now figured out what you would do with the card if you had control. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns.
Tag team champions of the world.
And then they would job out to Breezango.
No. they would job out to Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, the deleters of worlds.
No, I'd delete them. I'd job them out to, I have kids.
Great. We still do have the chance. We still have the chance to see potentially the three-man band reunion. You don't think so?
If that happens again, they might as well just be like, "Oh, I'm out of here."
It's their last night on the card, or last night in the show, in the company. Well, if we're going out in style.
So I started watching today. I started watching one of the DVDs from the Pro Wrestling Crate.
Okay.
The one talking about Dusty Rhodes. So it was Baby Doll, Kevin Sullivan, Ivan Koloff, and then Steve Corino was doing the interview. I think Hot Spots, is the one who sponsored it or whatever. And it's actually quite interesting to hear these three people who were there, backstage with Dusty, talk about like the way he would do stuff, the brilliance of Dusty and some of this stuff. And I don't know if you two have the crates. I don't know. Rob may have it. I don't know if you have it. If not, I'll have to let you borrow it. But it's really interesting. And they don't bash him or nothing, but they just talk about how his booking style or why he would do certain things, and how he'd be in a match with somebody and they'd be like, okay, let's do this, and Dusty's like, no, wait, no, come on, really, let's do this, and Dusty's like, no, wait, I'm telling you, wait. And then when it was time for Dusty to do his magic, the crowd would just erupt. And, it was just interesting to hear these people talk about what a gifted storyteller Dusty was.
It's always good to be able to learn about like the inner workings of how they used to do stuff. And you kind of wish that they would do that more today on a global scale, not just with what we've seen, because we're fortunate. We get to learn from guys that truly do put things together the right way, and they really think it through. They do it the way it should be done. But you really do wish, especially when you see those kinds of documentaries and those kind of behind-the-scenes deals, that there'd be somebody doing that on much more larger level.
Yeah, I mean, they talked about like what kind of brass balls you had to have when, Nikita went from being a bad guy to a good guy just like that, and it worked, So they were just talking about all types of stuff through different territories. So it was very, very interesting, very informative, and it was actually a very good watch for, just like an interview style.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's what the business suffers from today is the lack of, per se, a buildup, Like, they do a lot of recapping. They do a lot of rehashing, but they never, have the storytelling as it was back in the day, that Dusty would work a match. Ric Flair would work a match. They would get the people either against them or for them. And then they would do what they did, and it would pay off. They didn't need to do, 3 or 4 over the top rope into the crowd, somersaults, and all that kind of stuff that people do today to tell the story. They got the same pop that those guys are getting today with less likelihood of injury. But, I
mean, the psychology of wrestling is such a lost art as it is. I mean, and even as I say that realizing that I don't have a full understanding of it, but for what I do understand, it's just ridiculous that we can't see that on a such a level now versus when, just like you said, during the 80s and the 90s, it was as simple as a clothesline or a kick to the face that would turn the crowd instead of a 450 splash, from the top. It was much simpler, it was much more basic, but in reality it was much more about the storytelling than we could ever witness today.
Yeah, back then you had to be smart enough to know when that moment happened, you had to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And which is probably lost today in some regards.
I think that's what I missed the most about wrestling from when we were kids was the mystique of it. Like the unexpected was truly unexpected, and then when it happened, even if it sucked, you're like, "What in the?" You just were shocked. Even if it wasn't very good, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go ahead.
He was like Kevin Sullivan brought up a match where it was him, Kevin Sullivan, and I forget who was with him against Dusty, and I think it was Adrian Street. And of course, Adrian had a manager, female manager, and so they're going through the match. The crowd's into it, but they're not really totally bought into this thing yet. And so there comes a point in time where Kevin Sullivan brings out the old spike, goes to hit Dusty with it. Adrian pulls his manager in front. Kevin gets the manager, pops her in the eye with it. And at the exact moment he does that, Dusty scoops her up and holds her or something like this. And apparently this crowd just goes ballistic, like they're ready to riot, off of something so simple that Dusty, in his mind, he acts in a split second. And just according to Kevin, I mean, literally they were fighting them off the ring apron, for Kevin and the other heel to get out of there. Whereas right before that happens, they're into it, but they're not ready to kill. But, this simple thing about Dusty scooping her up and holding her, and the crowd is ready to riot. So, It's just stuff like that you miss. That they don't. A lot of them don't know how to grab the moment today, I guess.
Well, and that's where it's really just kind of a lost art, just seizing the moment, and then also just seeing somebody that goes and isn't afraid of actually being legitimately hated, like being a bad guy, instead of, kind of playing to the fans and then doing the I'm kind of a bad guy but not really, and it's as long as they're talking about me, it's you're a legitimate bad guy, period. That's how it is.
That's why I like the indies.
Yeah, and they stick to it for the most part. I mean, you don't really see it fall off. You really don't. It's just, it's so frustrating, especially because of what we've seen now versus, gosh, just what we were seeing a couple years ago. It gets even more frustrating because now it's like, well, man, it's really. I'm going to say it, but it's not quite the way. It really is that simple, even though it's really not that simple,
Right. Well, I think it goes back to, I think the tide changed back with, like, Steve Austin.
Mm-hmm.
When Steve Austin came out and he started doing his thing, then it became popular to cheer the bad guy. Because he was going against the establishment. Well, then now, I mean, look at it. The chants that started back then, the whole Kurt Angle thing, you suck, like that is still going on today. Just that's why it's like it seems like it's cool for the crowd to cheer for the bad guy. So it's almost impossible for a heel to stay a heel today because, I mean, you look at it. Bray Wyatt was doing everything possible to make people boo him, but then he was what? Everybody cheered him. So they don't play the psychological mind games that they used to.
That and the change of how the reaction is to different things now. And you'll hear a lot of guys from before Steve Austin broke out talking about how much of a mistake it was to have him become such an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm. But maybe that's why people have to, maybe that's why the wrestlers have to do such the moves they do, because they got to get that reaction, because of the smart fans that are out there.
Well, I mean, you will hear a lot of wrestlers and a lot of fans say that the internet ruined wrestling. Which,
I mean, now you don't have to call a hotline for 99 cents a minute.
That's right. That's right.
But I still like it. It's still fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't see myself ever not being a fan of wrestling. It's just that, with what we see now, sadly on a weekly basis, it's like, gosh, it just makes you long for what you had.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys started watching Something Else to Wrestle With on the WWE Network yet?
No.
So you need to watch the all of them are actually very good, but the one on 1995 Shawn Michaels, where they talk about what happened when Shawn got beat up outside that nightclub. Hearing the backstory behind that is insane. Like, they talk about how they came up with we got to come up with the music video because Shawn's hurt and he's going to give the belt up, and they had to do all this. And then they talk about how the clique started really coming into their own and how much perception was reality and all of that. It was crazy. But it's a great, great episode. And it really... there's two parts of it. On one hand, you're like, man, this is really cool because Bruce Pritchard is really just putting just so much information out there. And then you get to where you're like, this is actually a little bit uncomfortable because he's putting so much information out there. It's like, wow, maybe this is not what he should be putting out. If that makes any sense. What's that?
I said I wouldn't know. I haven't watched it yet.
Well, alrighty then.
But
I don't make a point to watch everything Shawn Michaels like some people.
Thanks for spoiling
it. Well, I don't know how else to do things, apparently. I just spoil things and ruin them for other people, and, I'm sorry. This is really awkward, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime
I'll tell you one thing that's helped that I like, about wrestling. The one thing that's reignited my passion for the business is just what we've done with UCW, helping that and kind of working with that and being ringside and being able to call it from ringside. That was awesome. Being that close. That you could feel the ref's foot graze your cheek, Brian, and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brian needs hazard pay.
Yeah, I don't know how some of these old school federations did it. Because there's a lot of older, the ones from the 70s where the table was right beside the ring. There had to have been a whole lot of accidents.
Yeah, how many times did they fall on the table and be like, hey, wait a minute. We don't have the WWE breakaway tables like they usually have.
No, we have the numbskulls that stand behind us with the camera, so that if somebody did come through the ropes, not only would we get hurt, but we'd hurt people behind us, and it would just be like a domino effect where everybody's getting beat up from one shot. Everybody falls backward. Well, yeah, that's true.
I'll be like, look, it's Stan. Let me throw a punch at him.
Hey, why would you want to throw a punch at me? Of all people, why me?
I guess you have to say, why not?
Jeez. But I mean, what did I ever do to you, sir?
Rob, you hook his arms, I'll throw the punch. When he wakes up, we'll be like, no, it was a stampede. They were coming up the table. We just took off running. I don't know what happened.
It was that damn monkey.
See, I'm usually the guy that sticks up for you guys. I'm in your corner 100%, 110%.
No.
I'm not?
Mm-mm. I mean, it's probably more like 60-40.
Wow. 60-40. Damn.
53-47, somewhere in there.
Wow. Brian's breaking it down here for us. So, okay. I don't even know what to say right now, except it's not true. I'm always in your corner. I'm your biggest fans. Why you would want to hurt me, I don't know. You guys are harsh.
It's all in jest.
It's fine. It's fine. Next time I'm going to throw one of you in the ring.
You couldn't lift us.
Yeah. And then what would you do? Well, I mean, it's too high for you to roll in there.
They have ring steps. I could dream.
They do?
World. Keep killing my dreams, man. Bunch of jerks.
This ain't funny.
Hey, no, I'm sure I have the phone number of a few people that can, let you fulfill your dreams in the ring there.
I have a feeling that that the people you'd call would be the people that I would call, and I don't think they're willing to take that kind of liability.
No, they're not. No.
All you got to do is sign a form there, sir.
No. Under the training aspect, he'd be okay.
Oh, my God. So what happened to you, Stan? So I went for this, and they broke every bone in my body after that.
What happened to you, Stan? Well, first it was a dance off, and then I pissed that guy off. And his much bigger friend came and beat me up.
His much bigger friend.
And then next thing you know, I'm being called a monkey muffin, and then getting smacked around by that guy. Only have a leopard print jacket thrown over my corpse.
And then I just woke up and I'm scared of aviator sunglasses now.
And the crowd was chanting, "Ding dong, the witch is dead." I don't know what happened.
Wow. Ding dong.
And DeVore just kept saying, "You sign the waiver. You sign the waiver."
Us training, you don't need a waiver. You'll be okay.
I can't believe you guys would do that to me.
Never.
You would just let me get beat up?
Yeah.
So we go from me talking about how I'm in your corner 110% to you guys just getting me in the ring and get me hurt.
I would be laughing.
I mean...
I
am shocked and appalled, sir.
And I'd have my cell phone recording.
Oh, you'd be Facebook Living it.
Now that you bring it up, probably.
Yeah, right. That'd be the first thing you do. Okay. Now I'm ready. We're live. You'd be the guy going, "Are you okay? Okay, good. I want you to stay in the camera shot here, please." Stan, stop crying. You're on Facebook Live. You guys suck.
And that's why you would get beat up.
Why?
Because you say we suck.
But you do. I mean, you won't even let me make fun of New Jersey. You keep stopping me from doing that.
No, you're being a hateful little guy right now.
I'm not hateful. I'm just being honest.
You're going too far. What has New Jersey ever done to you?
The key isn't what it has ever done. The key is, why would I ever want it to do anything for me?
You're going to stop all that sassiness.
I will say this. I think after what we saw, and we've been all over the place, so might as well just keep doing it. I think after what we saw last night, that we may want to consider possibly increasing security presence at our shows. No?
We got the best security around.
Well, Top Flight security is just that. They are indeed top flight. I agree. I give you that. But here's the thing that kind of makes me concerned about our safety and well-being. Is don't we want to be safe all the time?
Like Wes Rogers.
Yes, like Wes Rogers, Mr. Safety. See, I'm looking out for you guys because I can run faster than you. So if it really breaks loose, what's that?
I doubt
that.
You doubt you can run that I can run faster than you?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't have to pick up my belly to move.
Wow. Wow.
And I'm not the one who just insulted an entire state.
Yeah. If there's a state not to insult, it's the one that makes people disappear.
Oh my! Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, with the sewer lines they have, you can pretty well disappear in the gas. Just saying.
And see, the only thing we have to do to get away from you is we knock your glasses off, and then we say Shawn Michaels is over there, and then we run.
Oh, see, that's a dick move right there.
Are you kidding me, Rob? All you need is to get a little pen, prick your finger, show them the blood.
Oh, it's dick moves all around. Okay.
What you do is, Brian, you just put a blood ring around his chair. He can never leave. Put red paint around it and say it's blood.
Ew. What the hell's the matter with you guys? Rob's thought this through. He's got a plan. That's really the unsettling part.
funny.
But it's cool.
It's been a busy couple of weeks. Sadly, when it comes to busy, it means that we tend to get so busy that sometimes we don't get a show aired. So I apologize for that. Want to let everybody know that we are back on schedule. As a matter of fact, according to my records here, UCW Radio is scheduled to make its return to the airwaves next week as we start breaking down UCW's events from the last two episodes of Defiance. We'll start talking about...
I don't know about we. I ain't going to be there.
Okay. Well, maybe Doug Roberts is
UCW.
around. Can I talk to Doug?
Doug usually sits in my seat. So, I mean,
Oh,
if you want to piss off Doug Roberts, I mean, he's a pretty nice guy. But, I mean...
Okay.
He is dangerous, remember.
He indeed is dangerous.
Dangerous, dastardly Doug Roberts.
Oh, are you kidding me?
He's the dastardly dangerous Doug. That's too. Just stop it. Just stop it right now.
The dastardly dangerous diabolical. I'm just kidding.
Sigh. So, hey, we're taking your requests for questions. Who do you want us to talk to first on UCW Radio? Do you want Doug Roberts to be on the air? Oh, wait, that's not what I meant to say out loud. I'm sorry. But
at least with UCW, we have like more professional with the Lariat. At least he's more like together, and
he is more together. And you know what? He would not be distracted or angered as much as I was about WWE Supercard of all things. You're right, and I apologize. So, Brian, who do you suppose we should have on as our first guest back at UCW Radio?
Hey, you're the boss. That's your job.
Oh, I guess I got to look into getting somebody on the air.
Now, would you want to start at the top of the card and go down, or would you want to start at the bottom of the card and go up? That's the question.
I tell you who I want to talk to. I want to talk to Cheap Thrills. I want to talk to Matt Sells and Jimmy Flame about their tremendous matchup that they had against Noise Pollution.
I think that Doug would enjoy talking to, and I think Brian would too, having the champ, Billy Woody Jr. and KR Superstar on, just because how much they like to pick at the Lariat.
I don't know, man. I mean, they stay pretty busy. I mean, KR is very busy with Big Stuff Industries official business, and the champ, you know, he's got better things to do than to talk to me. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Brian?
No, most definitely.
Yeah,
you're like a little speck to them.
Yeah, they don't want to talk to me, but maybe to the UCW faithful. Maybe to those that have joined the movement for UCW, possibly. I don't know, man. I get kind of tired of all the picking on from them, especially since only one of them can actually see over the ropes.
You just never learn, do you?
One of these days, you know what's going to happen. One of these days, he's not even going to mean to do something. He's going to like reach back to make a point, and then he's going to elbow me right in the face. He's going to be like, "Oh yeah, that was a total accident." Wink, wink. Down.
I didn't see nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. I can't count on you guys. Oh, you okay? No. Jerks. So maybe that's it. Maybe we'll start with the champ and work our way around. But yes, UCW Radio will be back as of 8:30 p.m., probably 8 p.m., depending on how long the interviews go. But we will post it on social media for UCW Forever, at UCW Forever, that is, on Twitter. And then, of course, we will be back on track and on schedule, talking about all the wrestling that we can handle. Maybe we'll have some more news on All In. Who knows? Guys, for this week, I know that we've got Seth Rollins taking on Kevin Owens' Intercontinental title. That matchup's going to be very good. We didn't really touch on SmackDown except for the midget attack. Daniel Bryan has been very active, but what do you make of, before we close out, Daniel Bryan losing against Rusev?
If that had been, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think it meant something, but I don't really. To me, there's not quite the connection there that he used to have. If that makes sense.
There does seem to be like something missing. It's just not the same. Well, you really can't recreate lightning in a bottle as it is, but yeah, I'd have to agree with you. It does seem like there's something, just something not quite matching up.
I really hope that they don't try to push this whole, like, the whole backstage segment with Lana, where she was like, Rusev, you're losing your focus, and you need to realize, something's wrong here. And then she looked at Aiden English, like, I don't see that series going anywhere, but it's Rusev Day.
Early predictions as to who wins the men's Money in the Bank?
Too early.
Too early? Yeah, we don't know all the entrants, that's true.
So good job there, Dick Nose.
Wow. That's just, that's just been that kind of week.
Just ended on a high note then.
Okay. Brian, what would you like to do to end it on a high note? Because I thought that was, that's pretty low. Pretty low.
It was a high point for me.
Oh, okay. If it wasn't for the fact that we have so much fun doing this, I'm sure people would be like, what are you guys doing? We're having fun, all right?
All 5 listeners are like, huh.
Well, now it might actually just be 1.
Just Geneva.
Yeah, and it's only because she kind of likes me.
She's kind of legally obligated right now to listen.
Whoa. No. Careful there. Although...
Sorry, morally obligated. Is that
there
better?
There you go, morally obligated. That whole legally thing, that gets awful weird. I don't do so well with those legal obligations. Wait, that's not what I meant. Phrasing.
I'm
phrasing.
Like, stop, Stan, stop.
I'm just going to shut up now.
As his phone is blowing up. Bing, 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 bing.
That's not what I meant. Oh, damn it.
When did Stan's life come crushing down? At 10:56. Now, for the record, I would just like to say that I love each and every one of my fans, whether it's 1, 5, whether you come from the great state of New Jersey or anywhere else in the world. Pay no attention to these two little asshats. I love you, and that's all.
Well, it's good to know that Brian loves everybody. Brian, where do they find you on social media?
In other words, Brian's saying, Mom, I'll be home soon.
Why are we playing this game?
Because it's fun. It's tons of fun for everyone.
No, you're... Bite my tongue.
Jerk. I can't stop laughing. It's been an odd show if I just can't stop laughing. Brian can be found on Twitter at STRCP21 and on Facebook at Brian Taylor. Rob, how do they catch you on the social media, sir?
At Rob Hefner on Facebook, at Rob Hefner C2C on the Twitter. There you go.
You can catch up with Corner to Corner online at C2C Radio Show, Corner to Corner Show on Facebook. The Facebook group is in the midst of the greatest world champion ever contest. Interesting turns of events as we continue to go through. It looks like actually Triple H may be considered the greatest WWE champion per this contest. But you still got Great Muta, you still got Stan Hansen, you still got Ric Flair in the mix. I wonder who comes out the winner of this one.
Wait, what round is this?
We are in, let me pull that together. Please hold while he pulls up the page. The Corner to Corner Wrestling Group. Okay, so I stand corrected. The person who actually is winning as far as WWE as of right now is Bruno Sammartino. So we are in...
Which should be.
I agree. We're in the round... let's see. Move on to the round of 32. So we went from 64 to 32. So as it stands right now, Okada is losing to Misawa. I don't know a lot about Misawa, but I've always heard good things about his wrestling. Sammartino over Triple H. Stan Hansen is now behind Vern Gagne for AWA. Terry Funk over Pat O'Connor. That's an interesting switch.
Do that AWA one again.
Sure. AWA is Vern Gagne over Stan Hansen.
There's no Bockwinkel still in that?
No. That's crazy.
I don't think I have to agree with that one.
So if you're looking at the vote, guys, who do you think there?
I go Stan Hansen.
That's because you got Conor Wanger.
Terry Funk or Pat O'Connor?
Well, I see you voted for Terry Funk, Stan, so.
I did.
You can add an option. Like NWA, would not the one of the greatest NWA champions not be Ric Flair or Harley Race?
Well, in the first round, let's see here. I'm trying to scroll back through because, once the
last group round of 64 was won by Ric Flair, Yuji Nagata, and Nick Bockwinkel and Hulk Hogan.
Here it is. Here's the bracket. That's what I was looking for. Okay. So it was Thez and Funk. So Funk beat Lou Thez. Jeff Jarrett and Pat O'Connor. Pat O'Connor over Jeff Jarrett. That makes sense. Dan Severn and Rob Conway. That seems like a no contest. Dan Severn easily. Dory Funk Jr. versus Blue Demon Jr. Gene Kaninsky and Buddy Rogers, Harley Race, and Orville Brown. I don't remember anything of Orville Brown. That's a little bit before my time, I think. Let's see here. Adam Pearce and Jack Briscoe. As much of a fan of Adam Pearce that I am, Jack Briscoe, I'm sure, wins that one. Flair over Noah Agawa. Okay. Vern Gagne over Dr. X, Mr. M, and Stan Hansen. Rick Martel and Jumbo Tsuruta. Larry Zbyszko, Mr. Saito. Kurt Hennig. Wait, Pat O'Connor, was he in there twice? Pat O'Connor was in there twice. Yeah, it's a botch.
Cheat to win.
Yeah, right? And he only won once, I think. Great Muta is entered 1, 2. Great Muta had 2 entries. All right, yeah, I'm going to have to... I'm going to retreat from that one. You can catch up with me on Twitter at Stan from Krypton, Stan Grub on Facebook, and, of course, catch up with the show, like I said, at C2C Radio Show. UCWForever.com for all your Ultimate Championship Wrestling action. And don't forget, twitch.tv/UCWForever for the most recent updates and episodes of UCW Defiance, including Part 2, the rematch between the Red Scorpion and Ethan Cross for the UCW television title, Noise Pollution taking on Cheap Thrills in a battle for the UCW tag titles, and the crowning of a new UCW Ladies Champion, Casey Carlisle taking on Avery Rose. So that's what you can see, all that and much more, on twitch.tv/UCWForever. Did I do an okay job? I mean, I realize I'm not the Golden Pipes.
It was decent.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that. It was all right. All right, with that, hey, thanks again for listening. We will see you next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. For Rob?
It's been fun. It's been swell.
For Brian?
What he was trying to say is, it's been your pleasure.
I'm Stan Grubb saying, have a great one. We'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.
You like that? Stole your little line there.